here's the big question. You're interested in value investing and valuing and evaluating businesses on a deep level, but you don't know how, even after researching for hours, probably dozens of hours, hundreds of hours on the internet, and because nobody else shows you how to do it. This podcast has all those answers and much more about value investing and finance. My name is Jason Rivera. Welcome to Value Investing in Your Car. Hey, Jason here. In today's episode of Value Investing in Your Car, I want to tell you why I will never, ever, ever, ever bet against Elon Musk. Before we get to that, I need to tell you that you can get this podcast anywhere in the world for free on all major podcasting platforms, iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and more. You can get this series, Value Investing in Your Car, as a podcast anywhere in the world for free. So this is now, as of this recording, a week or two old, and I meant to make a video about it then, but got busy and forgot until now. So in my network group of friends, whatever you want to call it, I'm kind of known as the investing guy. So I always get asked about Bitcoin, weed stocks, and cryptocurrency, and Tesla, and Facebook, and Google, and all that kind of stuff. What are potential good investments? What are not? Usually I'm correct. But the one thing I get asked about Tesla is how has it survived? To be honest, Elon Musk's magic, his perseverance, hard work, stick-to-itiveness, whatever you want to call it, business genius, marketing genius, financial engineering genius, whatever you want to call it. From a personal perspective, everything he does is frankly amazing. From starting his first company, which is Zipcar, I think is what it was, then to PayPal, I think eBay. But yeah, PayPal, and then PayPal got bought out by eBay. Then to Tesla, Solar City, SpaceX. The dude is amazing. He's one of the people I admire most in the world because of how big he thinks, but also because he executes on his plans most of the time. From a personal perspective, his biography is amazing. One of the best business biographies I've ever read. Highly admire him. His goals, his ambition, how hard he works, all that kind of stuff, how he makes stuff happen. And frankly, just from a personal perspective, again, most people don't dream big anymore. And if they do, they still kind of limit themselves. He's literally shooting for the stars. He's trying to take people to Mars. So, I mean, you can't get really much bigger than that when it comes to goals and ambitions. He's trying to change the entire energy infrastructure by implementing and building and putting solar panels on people's houses. He's changed the entire auto industry. He's trying to go to Mars. From a personal perspective and from a science geek and science nerd, science fiction nerd's perspective, all the stuff he's doing is amazing. But I always say with a caveat, if I get asked about Tesla, there's no way I'd invest in any of his companies right now. But there's also no way I'd bet against him either. Years ago, this might have been probably 3 years ago, when Tesla was really struggling with their production. Whenever the timeline for them, when they were really struggling with production, they weren't meeting I think it was the Tesla S or Tesla 3, or Tesla Model S and Tesla Model 3 production. They were not even close to their goals. And they were getting crushed, and their debt covenants were almost being breached, and he somehow kept the company alive. And just last week or the week before, the company crushed analyst estimates with production numbers. He's dancing in China. I think that was about a month ago, actually, when he was dancing in China. He's crushed short sellers. They've lost, according to the Wall Street Journal, $8.4 billion in the last 5 weeks. Short sellers have lost betting against Tesla. There's an article out today that says, from Barron's, this is from Barron's and from other sources as well, that says, could Tesla be worth $8,000 a share to Google? Making Tesla, from another article, this one's from Forbes, $1,500 a share. How Google could acquire Tesla for $1,500 per share on its way to $2 trillion stock. So people are coming around to these companies that Elon Musk runs. Again, I wouldn't invest in them. They're still not profitable enough. They're still tenuous from an investment perspective. But again, I will never bet against Elon Musk. I had a conversation with a colleague about this the other day. We were pitching, what were you doing? We were pitching different stock ideas. He brought up Elon Musk and Tesla, and I said I will never bet against him because he always somehow makes stuff happen, even though it's up to the wire, literally or potentially going over the cliff. Tesla a couple years ago, and he just somehow keeps it going. He somehow makes it happen, and he executes, and he gets the people who work for him to make stuff happen. He's like Steve Jobs, but he's not as he doesn't seem as demeaning as Jobs. From my readings on his biography and my study of Jobs and Musk over time, he seems as hardworking and demanding as Jobs, but he's not as demeaning as Jobs, at least in my personal perspective. Again, I know neither personally, obviously, but just from my perspective, learning of them, he gets stuff done without necessarily being a total jerk like Jobs was in some cases. So, but I would have never bet against Steve Jobs either. Even though he was a jerk, he got stuff done and he transformed the world. Elon Musk is doing the same thing. But the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I had a conversation last week with a colleague. Short sellers are getting crushed in Tesla. Elon Musk is, again, amazing, making stuff happen out of thin air, potentially working on a deal with Google to partner with Google for electric cars, and what else? Google's software muscle and large cash pile would increase Tesla's chances of executing well in a larger space. Okay, so it's about them partnering together for world domination, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no, this is another example of why I don't short sell either. I've talked about that a couple different times on the blog. I'll link some of those below on why I don't short sell, why most value investors don't short sell. This is another perfect example. Some of the smartest people in the world have been trying to sell Tesla stock short, saying it's going to go bankrupt for years, and their losses are in the tens of billions of dollars at this point because Elon Musk, because they're betting against Elon Musk and he's making it work. So my rules of investing: don't lose money, don't invest in managements you can't trust, don't bet against Elon Musk. These three things will help you not lose a lot of money or not lose money, and then help you gain money over the long term. It just is fascinating to me, again, from a personal perspective and an investment perspective, watching Elon Musk and how he executes. But it just is frankly kind of mind-boggling how he works this stuff and is continuing to transform the world, literally transform the world, like Jobs did, like Google did, and is still doing. And now he's potentially partnering with Google on a $1.5 to $2.5 trillion deal, supposedly. At least that's the speculation. We'll see if that happens. But craziness. Don't bet against Elon Musk. I will not bet against Elon Musk. I hope his companies survive. Again, from a personal perspective, I think they're amazing. I love the technology. I love what he's doing. I would invest in his companies, but I'm not going to bet against him either. And I don't think you should either. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you have any kind of cool Elon Musk stories or nuances or somebody else you wouldn't bet against, I'd love to hear that in the comments below. I need to remind you that this episode is a value investing in your car episode that you can download anywhere in the world for free on all major podcasting platforms: Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, and more. And I'll link any resources, these articles I found, and I was talking about the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, and Forbes articles below this, along with some of the other resources as well, so you can read and learn from them. But until next time, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Talk soon.